My girlfriend's mother compared me to her ex, and my girlfriend said she's only with me because she's running out of time, but they didn't know I was listening. It's been a little over a week since everything went down, and I still don't even know where to start. My thoughts are all over the place. Part of me feels numb, part of me feels angry, and part of me just feels broken. But maybe writing this out will help me process it, because right now I feel like I've been living in some twisted nightmare. So, I'm a 31-year-old guy, and until recently, I thought I had my life figured out. I thought I had a future, a partner, and something to hold on to. But all of that got ripped away in a single moment, and I don't even know who to trust anymore. For 2 years, I was in a relationship with a woman I'll call Chloe, 29F. We met in the gym through my buddy's girlfriend. Chloe was the kind of girl who immediately stood out. She was funny, witty, and had this easy way of making conversations feel natural. I'm not the smoothest guy when it comes to talking to women, but with her, it didn't feel forced. We had a kind of banter from the start, and honestly, it felt refreshing. At first, it was just casual hellos and small talk whenever we ran into each other at the gym. But as weeks went by, those conversations got longer. I started looking forward to seeing her. One day, after hyping myself up for about 2 weeks, I finally asked her out. I was nervous as hell, expecting rejection, but she smiled and said yes. I swear I floated the rest of that workout. Our first date was dinner at this small Italian restaurant near the city. I remember being struck by how easy it was to talk to her. We covered everything: our hobbies, our interests, our families, and our goals. She told me she had just gotten out of a long-term relationship. That should have been a red flag. Most people fresh out of a breakup need time to heal, to sort things out. But single me, desperate me, happy to finally have a shot me? I brushed it aside. I told myself not to ruin a good thing by overthinking. That night ended with us laughing so hard at some dumb joke that the waiter actually stopped to check if we were okay. I drove home thinking, this could be something real. And it was for a while. We started dating exclusively. Our chemistry was undeniable. We texted constantly, spent weekends together, and eventually started making future plans. The little things made me fall harder. The way she scrunched her nose when she laughed, how she made me playlists for the gym, how she'd surprise me with my favorite protein bars after a rough day. Of course, we had arguments. What couple doesn't? Sometimes about chores, sometimes about my long work hours, sometimes about her being a little secretive with her phone. But nothing I thought was relationship ending. I always told myself that no relationship is perfect. About a year in, we decided to move in together. I remember carrying boxes up the stairs, sweating like crazy, and she walked in holding this tiny cactus plant she bought for our home. I laughed and said, "That little thing better not die on my watch." She told me it was symbolic, strong but resilient, like us. I believed her. Living together had its challenges. Adjusting to each other's routines, sharing space, dealing with minor disagreements about groceries or cleaning. But overall, it felt good. Like progress. Not long after we settled in, I brought up meeting her parents. She looked surprised, almost caught off guard, but then she smiled and said she'd love for me to meet them, especially her dad. She promised I'd love him. And she was right. We went to her parents' house for dinner. Her dad greeted me warmly. I stuck my hand out for a handshake, but he pulled me into a hug and told me to make myself at home. We bonded instantly over football. He hated the word soccer just as much as I did, and we spent nearly half an hour debating players while everyone else set the table. Her mom, though, was different. She wasn't outright rude, but she was cold. No smiles, no warmth, no effort to make me feel welcome. I brushed it off as nerves, or maybe just her being protective. First impressions aren't everything, right? But during dinner, things turned. Her mom started grilling me with questions about my job, my salary, my long-term plans. She said she didn't want her daughter wasting time on someone who wasn't ambitious. I sat there, trying to answer politely, but inside I felt like I was on trial. What stung more was Chloe's silence. She didn't defend me, didn't say a word to her mom to ease the tension. She just let it happen. I should have taken that as another red flag. But again, I told myself not to overthink. A few weeks later, her parents invited us to a family gathering. I thought it would be a good chance to meet more of her family and maybe even warm her mom up to me. I brought a nice bottle of wine and tried to go in with a positive attitude. At first, it went well. I helped her dad with the grill, joked around with her cousins, and genuinely felt like I was starting to fit in. For the first time, I thought maybe I could belong in her world. But then it happened. On my way back from the bathroom, I passed the kitchen and overheard voices, Chloe and her mother. They didn't know I was nearby. Her mom said, "I don't understand what you see in him. He's nothing compared to Mark. Mark had a future, a real career. He treated you like a queen. This one, he's just average." My heart stopped. Mark, the ex, the one she told me was completely out of the picture. And then Chloe's voice. "Mom, I know. Trust me, I know. He's not Mark. But I'm 29 now. I can't keep wasting years dating around. I need to settle down. He's fine for that. It's not like I'm head over heels, but he's safe." Safe. That word echoed in my head like a gunshot. I froze. My stomach dropped. My ears rang. Every instinct in me wanted to burst in and demand answers, but I couldn't move. I just stood there, my world crumbling. I quietly backed away and went outside. My hands were shaking, my chest tight. I tried to breathe, tried to process what I had just heard. But all I could hear in my head was her voice saying, "He's safe." That night, I barely slept. I laid there next to her, staring at the ceiling, wondering how many moments had been lies. Was every laugh real? Every kiss? Every "I love you"? Or was I just some placeholder while she mourned her perfect ex? The next day, I confronted her. At first, she acted confused. "What are you talking about?" she asked. Then she tried to gaslight me. "You must have misheard. That's not what I said. You're twisting it." But when I repeated her words back to her, word for word, her face went pale. She knew I knew. She broke down crying. She admitted she wasn't madly in love with me. She admitted she still thought about Mark. And then, the knife to the chest, she confessed that during our first year together, she had slept with Mark a few times. She called it a slip-up. A slip-up. 2 years of my life reduced to being someone's safe option, someone's backup plan. I told her to pack her things and leave. She begged. She cried. She promised it meant nothing. She swore she loved me in her own way. But I couldn't stay. I couldn't be the guy someone settled for because their clock was ticking. It's been a week since then, and I'm still trying to pick up the pieces. I feel betrayed, humiliated, and angry at myself for ignoring so many red flags. Part of me wonders if I'll ever be able to trust again. But deep down, I know I made the right choice. I deserve to be loved fully, not just tolerated because I'm safe. And that's the story. If you've made it this far, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.